Okay, Professor Kuma here again. Next step in this writing process. We've got an argumentative essay in the cooker. We're trying to finish it up. We're trying to get there to the end. But we are also trying to learn the skill of essay writing. We're trying to be skilled, trained essay writers, okay? This is different than high school. This is different than middle school. This is the higher level of academic writing. So it may feel new. It may feel like some things are a waste of time. I get that. You know, I was there. I remember thinking certain things are a waste of time. This next thing we're going to talk about is outlining, which is a total waste of time if you let it be a waste of time. Good writers always write outlines. Outlines are essential, especially in your first few years, especially when you're writing essays for any class, whether it's an English class or whether it's a class for any other subject. You want to be able to plan out the essay. And I'll tell you why. It's because you don't want to get into this thing and then realize, okay, I'm way off topic, I have no idea where I'm going, and have to restart. Or, of course, what happens a lot of times, a person will wait till the last minute, they don't have an outline, and so then they find themselves in the position where it's like, okay, I have a crap paper, and I don't even have enough time to restart it. I'm just going to have to bite this one and just really, I'm going to have to get a terrible grade. If you outline, you're going to avoid a lot of stress. If you outline, you're going to avoid a lot of problems. If you outline, you're actually going to go faster when it comes to writing an essay. And I'll tell you why. An outline is most of the hard thinking. Most of the difficult thinking is the organization of your thoughts. It's not easy to organize your thoughts, and it's even harder to do it on the fly. Again, if you remember when we talked about free writing, most high schoolers, middle schoolers, or untrained essay writers will just write down, just start writing, and just whatever comes to mind, that'll happen. And what happens is, whenever you print it up, someone reads it, it doesn't make as much sense because you haven't kept a clear plan. It's not well organized, and the effect is lessened, okay? Now, we're writing an argumentative essay. This means we want our audience to believe something. Remember our thesis statement, right? You want this audience to believe your thesis statement. This thesis statement is argumentative, so you're trying to really prove something to your audience. Now, you already know who your audience is because we took the time to think about what's important to the audience. What are the values that the audience has? What are some things that the audience doesn't think about? Or maybe what are some things that the audience needs to know? So we've already done all that. We've done all of the prep work. Now it's time to start laying the foundation for this essay. Now, every essay is going to start with an introductory paragraph. We already know this. And I tell you what, I always do an upside down triangle to represent your introduction. And the reason for that is because your introduction is a paragraph unlike any other paragraph. You're going to introduce the topic of your essay in this introduction. Now, we're going to have a whole talk on this later, but let's go ahead in all of your outlines, unless you're doing it on a computer, you'll want to just draw an upside down triangle. If you're doing this on a Word document or something like that, just simply make a space for your introduction, okay? Just know that you're going to write an introduction. You're not going to plan out the introduction like you're going to plan out all the other parts of your essay. Now, usually the last sentence or two of your introduction is your thesis statement. So every outline should have a thesis statement. And so at the top of your outline, if you're doing it on Word, and for most of my classes, I always prefer people to do this in Word, write your thesis statement. You should already have this written because at this point, we already know what we're going to argue. Now, it's not set in stone. You can change it. You can tweak it. You can make it better. But we're going to put the main argument at the top so that the rest makes a lot of sense, okay? Now, outlining is something that you've seen a lot of people do. A lot of people will do Roman numerals. A lot of people do numbers, letters, things like that. You can do that, and that's fine. All I require of you is that you write out your topic sentences, okay? We're going to plan each paragraph. So we know what our thesis statement is going to be. Now we're going to have topic sentence number 1. Again, remember that your topic sentence is a sentence that basically says something that the rest of the paragraph will explain, illustrate, or further demonstrate. So you're going to have a topic sentence. Now, for my courses, I always will require you to have a full, completely written topic sentence. Every topic sentence should be completely thought out. For other classes that you might have been in, other English courses, you might not have had to do that. It may have been okay just to write a word and then you know what you're going to write about in that paragraph. But that's not how it works in my class. To get credit for any essay, for any assignment, you'll need to, for all of the outline assignments, you'll need to have completely, fully written topic sentences. Now, you might ask me why I require that, and I'll tell you. If you don't do that, you're wasting your time. Because outlining is whenever you're planning, you're organizing. And so whenever you're writing your topic sentence, you want to write it completely out. The nice thing is this: you're not wasting your time if you write a complete sentence, because you can use that complete sentence in your essay. If you're doing this on a Word document, all you have to do later is just, start at the end of that sentence and continue writing to finish the paragraph. So again, write a complete sentence for every topic sentence that you're going to write in your essay. Now, in this assignment, we're making an argument, okay? So for this assignment, I only require completely written topic sentences. And at first, this may be difficult. Again, just like the thesis statement, these are not set in stone. You can change them, improve them, tweak them. You can make them better. But you want to have a complete thought for each topic sentence, because that's a complete thought that you're going to explain or explore in each paragraph. So, for each paragraph, you'll have a complete topic sentence, and you write them out, and you go on and on. Now, eventually you're going to get to, that at the end of every essay is a conclusion. Let me tell you this: on an outline, we do not worry about outlining the conclusion, and this is why. When you get to your conclusion, the only job you have to do in your conclusion is to reflect on what you've already written, to remind your audience of points that you've made. Good things, good reasons why your argument is true. You'll also remind your audience of your thesis statement. You'll remind your audience, listen, this is the truth, okay? So we don't have to really plan anything for the conclusion in your outline, because really we're doing that with the whole outline. If you have a good outline, your conclusion's almost done already by the time you get there. The goal here is maximize efficiency, reduce wasted time. So for the outline, you'll need a completely written thesis statement. Every word, period. It all needs to be making sense, and it needs to be clear. Likewise, you're going to need a completely written out, organized topic sentence for each paragraph that you plan to write. Once you have this, you've got a plan. I'm going to talk about this topic. I'm going to explain this statement in this paragraph. When it gets to this next paragraph, it's completely different than the previous paragraph. And I'm going to explain this topic in this particular paragraph. When I get to the next paragraph, I know exactly what I'm going to explain, demonstrate, illustrate. I'm going to give some examples of whatever it is I wrote in that topic sentence. Okay, guys, that's outlining, and that's how we're going to outline for this argumentative essay. Get started.